Hello and welcome to another Vintage Schumacher RC video. This is, Cougar 2 Works Classic. Wow, I thought you'd be saying that, would you? Works Classic. This is the rear varied shock mount, people. The rear varied shock mount. This is carpet setup. So we're talking top row of the holes, second one in. So top row, second one in. Carpet setup. I'm going to get it out straight away because I'm going to not moan. I'm going to have an opinion, say, about stuff. Well, I might have mentioned about my wishbone situation, having two left wishbones in my kit. I might have mentioned that my manual was damaged. I'm sure to me it looked like it had been kicked around the floor or someone had used it. But then there was my aero disc wheels, very poor quality molding, very pitted. I will have to put a picture of those in the video when I put those together. Very disappointing. My expectations of the Schumies, because all my Schumacher kits in the past and present have always been excellent quality, top notch, 10 out of 10 quality. So my expectations for my Schumi kits are always high because I think good high expectations are deserved because they are very, very, very good quality. But anyway, let's just not dwell on my issues. But it has kind of took me off manual. I did really want to do a little bit of manual following in my series of videos, but because of my issues with my wishbones, postage, weather, Christmas holidays, bank holidays, New Year, it has been an issue. Has been an issue. But we don't mind. We don't mind. All my issues have been sorted out very nicely without no hassle whatsoever. I sent photos to my Mr. Schumi and they sent me replacement parts, which is very good of them. Very good. Very easy, very nice service. So this is why we're kind of off manual, which I do normally go off manual anyway, but I wanted to do it via like stages, but we've forgotten that now. It's all out the window. But anyway, let's just concentrate on what we're doing. This is the varied shock mount for the rear. You can get aftermarket third-party manufacturers for these. I have a Cougar 2 hybrid car. Let's call it a hybrid car, which I bought some aftermarket shock mounts, varied shock mounts from. You might have heard of them, Fiberlight. They manufacture carbon fiber parts for RC models. I have purchased sets of shock mounts from them. They are slightly thicker. Let's call them thicker because the carbon fiber for these, I should really measure, but the Fiberlight ones are, I'm not going to say stronger because I've got no comparison on that because I haven't broke any of these and I've never broken the Fiberlight ones. So can't say stronger. They're just thicker, about 1.5 mil, I think. Or is it a millimeter? They do come across as very chunky, very strong. But anyway, let's just concentrate on what we're doing. We are locking these pesky nuts together. Standard procedure, one left, one right. I'm using the torque setting of my bony fingers to set these. You have to be careful not to strip your nuts. I think it's less likely to strip the thread off the bolt because that's stainless. The nuts are not stainless. They are quite I'm not saying they're soft, I'm just saying the same quality metal, which it's not a problem really, very standard nut. I think in the future I'm going to swap mine out. I think I'm going to hex my model with stainless steel, everything, stainless steel nuts, stainless steel bolts. They just come across as an upgrade, I think. And one thing you can guarantee that is your hex screwdriver will fit every single one the same. You don't have to mess around with your screwdriver bits. But that's not really an issue. So let's try and get back to what we're watching. I'm fitting what are these? These are spoiler mounts, aren't they? Do we call them rear spoiler mounts? I don't know if they've got a technical name. These haven't changed over the years. These are exactly the same as the originals. There's nothing different about these whatsoever. Very good quality molding. Only had to trim off a little bit. You can get spacers for these, you know. Now, if you want to adjust the angle of your spoiler, you can get spacers, but I don't think they're necessary. But saying that, you can get some very nice anodized purple spacers if you want to use them on your model. I'm not saying necessarily for this job. Magnetic screwdriver issue. I'm not saying necessarily for this job, but you can get them, purple spacers. So keep an eye out for them when they come back in stock. Yes, know this. I'm very glad I've got a screwdriver where I can change the bits of the end, because I keep coming across where, because the plastic hasn't got a thread in it, you're cutting your new thread because all the parts are new, so you're technically making your own threads, new threads. I keep swapping out my bits for various reasons where my screwdriver just won't fit. So just make sure, I'm going to call this a pro tip, okay? Just make sure that you've got exactly the right size screwdriver bit. I might have said this in previous videos, but just double check your screwdrivers, your posi drive screwdriver, that it's a perfect fit, because I'm not saying that the screws are poor quality. I'm just saying that you need to put some oomph behind them because you're cutting a new thread in your plastic parts. So just double check that your screwdriver is exactly the right size, because you will risk rounding the screw. And you don't want to do that. Not on a new kit. Just double check exactly the right, because if you get exactly the right size, not a problem. It's just double check that you don't try and force it with a screwdriver bit that's not quite right, because you will damage your screw. I'm not saying that they're really soft. I'm just saying that you need to put a bit of pressure on them because you're cutting new threads. Okay, so that was a pro tip, people. I think it was. Comes across as a pro tip. Or it might just be a basic thing that everyone knows anyway. But if you've not built a kit before, or a new one, then you might not have come across that issue. But anyway, it don't matter. So now I'm just fitting the rubbers. The rubber, what would you call it? I know they're O-rings. They are to make when you're like racing and you inadvertently crash your car and it rolls a lot, and your spoiler will just bounce. It will bounce, flex. It will flex up and down so you don't damage it. So these are awesome. These are awesome design. I do like a flexible rear spoiler on my car, because when you see your car bouncing down the track, you think, Yeah, that spoiler is safe on there. That's guaranteed that that's not going to be an issue. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I do remember the original ones on the Top Cat and the Cougar, and they repeated them on the Cougar Classic and the Top Cat Classic. Yeah, they followed the pain down the years of those rear spoiler O-rings. Yeah, they made sure everyone experienced the same experience of trying to get those rubber O-rings in on the classic Cougar and the Top Cat. I'm glad about that. I'm glad the Schumi boys shared that experience. Definitely, definitely. But these Cougar 2 ones are very, very, very easy to get on. These are very, very simple. It's not even a pro tip, you know. It's just a case of putting them on, pulling them, stretching them. And that's it. You've got a nice flexible base for your spoiler. You can get different spoiler mounts for these. You might want to put the extended ones on, which move your spoiler backwards. I don't know if you'd want to do that because they're not flexible. Yes, I know I'm screwing these on. These are the retainers for the spoiler. I'm just putting them on so they don't get lost. And if you want some bling ones, I have seen some third-party aluminium ones. These, so your car will look awesome when it's bouncing down the track, and your spoiler is staying in position. So this is the fruity part, and just so you know, I have inadvertently, accidentally, it might have been in temper when I discovered I had 2 wishbones that were the same size. I lost the video footage of myself fitting the rear bulkhead, but it doesn't matter. It's only a case of 2 nuts and my purple anodized spacers for the wishbone, but it don't matter because we'll get to that when we do the wishbone video. So yeah, I wasn't angry or upset about receiving 2 wishbones in my kit that were the same. I was just marginally disappointed. But anyway, I don't think there is much difference where you mount this because it is very easy to change. There's 2 screws, 4 holes, so you can, because it's very, very adjustable. So there's 2 holes, there's 4 holes, 2 screws. So you can move this bracket suspension mount up and down to get right height if your shock absorbers aren't doing it for you. So at this point, the manual is out the window. So once this is on, 2 screws, we're more or less there for this video, people. Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. Thank you for watching my series. And I think we're going to call that quits on this one. And laters, people.